So I'd like to take a couple minutes today and just kind of talk about what's going on with the Social Security thing. Is Congress really ever going to act on this? I really kind of doubt it. Only because it's easier just to move this thing down the road for the next administration to worry about if anybody ever does anything about it. And this shouldn't even be a partisan issue because, millions and millions of Americans have been paying into these programs for years and years and years, and if you're like me, close to retirement age, 40 years or more. And now we don't even know for sure how long the money's going to last, and we know for sure at this point that if they don't do something in the next couple of years, that by 2033 we're going to see a reduction of benefits. And that's something that everybody who's in pre-retirement needs to plan for. Because if that money's not going to be there, you better have a plan to make up the difference for that shortage. Because it is going to happen, especially if they don't act. Now, they're talking about a lot of things, including raising the retirement age to, instead of being able to collect at 62, raising it to 65, that you can't even start to collect until 65, and that would raise everybody's retirement age up to 70 to be the preferred or your regular number, is one of the things that I've heard. And these are reports that I found online. It's not that I'm making it up. I may be off on a number here and there because I don't have it in front of me to quote, but that's one of the things they're talking about. They are considering upping the tax for Social Security so that people can start paying in more. And I'm not necessarily against that. One of the caveats that came out was that we need to introduce this soon enough that people can adjust their lives for it, because anytime you increase a federal tax, people have to be prepared to pay that. And with inflation and all the other things in place, that's just another burden on the American taxpayer already. One of the downsides of this whole situation is that we have approximately 3 workers for everybody off that's in retirement and receiving benefits, versus a time when there used to be between 8 and 10 workers per person off. And part of that problem is there's been too many people that have been collecting that don't deserve or haven't paid in, or possibly not even legal in this country. And that has been found. It's not, again, this is not my opinion necessarily. Some of my other rants here are, but they have found proof that other people that were not entitled to this money were getting it. There was over 2 million people 2 to 4 million, I believe, that were found to be on collecting Social Security benefits that were illegal aliens inside the country. And anybody who's collecting a Social Security benefit of any kind should at least be paying into the system, or their family should be legal Americans. It was originally set up to be for single mothers and their kids, and then the elderly, not anybody who claims to have an illness or comes to this country illegally. So if you are here illegally and collecting benefits, that, to me, that's a scam to the rest of the American public who pay in and pay taxes rightfully. So I try not to be real political on this channel, but I'm not going to be afraid to stand up that I am and say that I'm a conservative Christian, and I expect that my money be spent properly and for the people who have earned it and paid into it. It's amazing how many people are collecting Social Security disability benefits because they claim they can't work. I'm sure that's in the millions as well. People that are probably able-bodied that are alcoholics or have drug problems or whatever. And there should be prevention things put in place first. There should be some steps that you have to go through to get to a point where you're qualified to be socially unable to work for life, that you get a Social Security benefit. I'd love to get that because that pays better than what my 67 age retirement benefit is. But I'm able-bodied and I work. And that's what I think is expected out of everybody. And we may not agree on a lot of things, folks, but I think it's only fair that we agree that if you have a real reason to collect, then collect. But if you are not, and if you have not paid into this system, you shouldn't be entitled to our benefits. Now, back to my original point. Is Congress ever going to act on this? It's really hard to say because it's ridiculous that they keep kicking this down the road. it's been in trouble for years, and they've been warning us for years. And how it is that they're not better at managing this money and at least getting better returns on whatever's in that trust. Right now the S&P, I have made almost 22% this year. Is that normal? No, but 11% is the industry high, or the S&P's historical high average. So why can't they do better with the trust fund money that's in there that's supposed to support this stuff? And don't even get me started on the fact that Trump is even considering giving $1,000 or $2,000 back to Americans as a tariff bonus. How about put that into our debt and into the services that are getting screwed? Okay. Anyway, sorry to get on a rant there. I just think it's kind of ridiculous that the people that we put in place to do things won't properly handle things. And I'm telling you, if you are in the state of Illinois and you are counting on a state pension, remember and Google this. It's like $179 billion behind. If you're worried about not getting your Social Security, you better be worried about not getting your pension, because if the state of Illinois doesn't do something about it to start catching that money up, when the time comes that they have like a baby boomer effect of employees retiring, there ain't going to be money there. And you're going to be counting on that pension all these years. So I've seen better, seen worse, but somebody needs to do something proper. Anyway, plan ahead, save your money, be better with your money, because they're not being good with our money. And you can't count on them following through on their plans. All right. Thanks for watching. As always, see you next time.